Whenever a game is developed, it goes through many changes. And even shortly before the game is finally done, a lot of things get reworked or removed entirely. Some game developers remove everything related to the old data, and some keep it in. Today we want to have a look at Majora's Mask, which still has a lot of leftovers from the beta. Some can even be seen without hacking the game at all. One of these things is Clock Tower. It doesn't look too different, but with a glitch called hovering we can get out of bounds in North Clock Town and have a look at the beta Clock Tower. Now some might be thinking, wait a second. Exactly. In the official game art of Link in Clock Town, the artist still used this clock tower. But why was it changed? Well, the fence was rather unfortunate if you consider that Deku Link was supposed to fly onto this platform. Besides, the original clock tower had a higher platform. It just used a small slope for Link to walk up. But this was changed to give the player a task during the first 3 days, and thus Clock Tower was changed as well.
But there is more. Originally, the game was supposed to have fishing in it. The fishing was supposed to be similar to the fishing in Ocarina of Time, mostly a rupee source. However, Jabu Jabu was supposed to get caught, which is why the fish Chapu Chapu in Majora's Mask 3D is a reference to this one. Jabu, however, was supposed to stop the moon for a certain amount of time. If you get the sword stolen by Takuri, go to shallow water and do the unrestricted items on Zora glitch. You won't be able to slash with your fins anymore though. Instead, Link will now show a bottle, and the color of the bottle's content matches the one you get if you write the Hylian Loach into your inventory. The Hylian Loach is the last leftover bit of the fishing minigame that was supposed to be in the final game. But there's not only the Hylian Loach that was supposed to be a bottled item, there's also a purple drink you can still access without hacking the game. Get your sword stolen, save at an owl statue while on Epona, reload, put on Goron Mask, curl, and hit B when coming back up. Link will now drink a purple potion. Wait, purple? In Ocarina of Time, purple used to be a regular po. In Majora's Mask this points to Obaba no Drinku, which translates to Granny's drink. However, it's uncertain whether you were supposed to get this drink from Kotake instead of the red potion, or if you were supposed to get it from Anju's grandmother. However, it is still left in the game and restores health. This is pretty much as far as it can get in the game without really complicated setups that are close to impossible to pull off.
But we'd still like to know what Nintendo left in the game. Originally, the Song of Time modifications were not intended. Even the Song of Time wasn't originally planned. You were supposed to buy time with rupees in the earlier stages of the game. This is where the Sun Song comes in, and it's still fully functional. Apparently, Sun Song was meant to be the song to advance time somewhere until the end of the development cycle, until the developers decided to remove it and replace it with the Song of Double Time. It quickly advances time, and you can even see the NPCs that had their very own schedule to move along with it, and just run past you as time progressed to nighttime. Also, you had more control with it. You could just enter a new area at the desired time, and the time would flow at normal speed again. Even the inverted Song of Time bypass works, which means even if the time was running slower, Sun Song disabled its effect until the next transition, and then put it back to the time being slowed down. But the Sun Song was not the only song that was supposed to come back from Ocarina of Time. A lot of people's favorite song, Saria's Song, also made its way into the game at some point. However, it was scraped in an earlier development cycle, and its data was overwritten by the final hour music. But not all the connections to the song in the game got lost. If one digs into the files, you can find that Link was supposed to remember Saria and Saria's Song. Instead of Tattle, the character teaching you Saria's Song was supposed to be a giant. When learning the song, the giant said, "Follow after me." The text either leads to the conclusion that you were supposed to learn the song from the Happy Mask Salesman or the dead Deku Butler. If you bring up the cutscene in the game, you will however learn Oath of Order instead, which probably means that Saria's Song was scraped earlier in the development to implement the Oath of Order, and later in, the song file for Saria's Song itself was replaced with the final hour music. In the game, there are more leftover songs from Ocarina of Time, such as Zelda's Lullaby and all the Warp songs. However, none of these have any effect and are just leftovers coming from Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask.
But we're not done yet. The European debug cartridge was found and released, which features a map and cutscene selection. But first things first. In one of the beta screenshots, we can see Link having a mask on one of his C buttons that seems to look a lot like a Child Link mask. It seems like the Great Fairy in Ikana wasn't supposed to give you the Great Fairy Sword. It looks a lot like the Great Fairy Sword was more of a backup for Nintendo, as the concept of Oni Link and Child Link didn't seem to work out as intended. If we use the debug cartridge, we can access a cutscene which features Link working out. And after the workout, Link was supposed to come back as fierce deity Link. This, however, never made it into the final game. The animations are still left and can be accessed by manipulating some values. The Majora's Mask beta went through a lot of changes despite the development time only taking a year. And unfortunately, a lot of these changes aren't included in the final release. But quite a few are only locked away as they made it into the game and never got removed. Click on the video shown to learn about Majora's Mask and its unused days that still remain in the game. Like what we do? Subscribe and you won't miss any future videos.